Good evening, everyone. Don Rolfe here, owner and founder of Northwest Legal Planning, and I'm here to talk to you about how you update your estate plan. I got a call actually this afternoon, and the woman that I spoke with was completely confused and had gotten some information off of Google and about how to update her will and what was necessary. And so I thought I'd jump on here and make sure everybody at least has a basic understanding of updating your estate plan. So, an estate plan encompasses a lot of documents. There's wills, trusts, powers of attorney, healthcare directives, all kinds of stuff, right? Most of the documents, absent the trust and the will, so we're going to put those in a different pile. Most of the documents, if you want to update those, you're just going to do brand new ones. So you're going to do a brand new healthcare directives, you're going to do brand new certificates of trust or powers of attorney. All of those documents, we really don't amend them. They're just, we revoke the old ones and we put new ones in place. So moving on to our wills and our trusts. We'll start with wills first. So if a will is pretty much relatively current, it has all the correct family members in it, it has correct distribution plans for the most part, it's up to date for the law and so forth. The way we would update that will is we would do an amendment, and amendments to wills are called codicils. And it's basically, we say we're revoking, let's say, section 2.1 of the will as it's written and replacing it with 2.1 as it's written this way. And that could be, the percentages of how we're distributing things to our family members, or it could be who you're appointing as personal representative, or all kinds of things. And generally, if there's one or two amendments the will is still up to date with the law and so forth, we're generally pretty comfortable with just doing a codicil and adding that to the will and making sure that all of the copies that exist have this new amendment attached to them. However, and we're going to talk about this is the same as with trusts, is once we get past 2-3 amendments, it can get fairly difficult making sure that as we're referring to the will and the codicils or the amendments, that we're all on the same page. So eventually, rather than just doing amendment after amendment after amendment, we will just revoke the entire will and put a new one in place. And that's the same thing that we're going to do for a trust as well. So if we have a trust and we've got 15 amendments behind it, it's just really not, it's not very smooth when you actually go to administer the trust to have to refer back to amendments back and forth and know what's been removed from the trust and then what's added with the amendments. So basically, it's the same procedure for a trust as it is for a will, only we call them amendments rather than codicils. And, it's a document that we produce that says I'm removing this language and replacing it with this language. And oftentimes we also, both with the wills and with the codicil, we want to either cite the law that allows us to amend it or the provisions within the trust or the will that allow us to amend it. So it's not as easy as just, saying I'm taking this out and putting this in, but oftentimes we want to make sure that it's going to hold up. So we're going to want to reference our authority to make the amendment and make sure that it's executed in the appropriate manner, whether that's needing witnesses or has to be in front of a notary, making sure that we're getting it signed. When I say executed, I don't mean killing anything. Getting it signed in the appropriate manner or as the law calls for. So, listen, if you have any questions about this, or you have a trust or a will that needs to be updated, or any other documents in your estate plan, feel free to reach out to me by going to myestateplanmeeting.com. You can get yourself on my schedule, either for a phone call or in-person consultation. Start a conversation where we can talk about whether or not a codicil or amendment is appropriate for your trust, or maybe new powers of attorney, any of those things, and we can get that taken care of. Things to not do to try to amend your estate plan. On any of these documents, it's really not going to help to cross things out and handwrite stuff in. That generally does not work. I would not recommend it for any of your estate planning documents. if it's something that you think that you can do, I would really, really, really encourage you to get the advice of counsel to find out if that's going to work for you. I do get people that come in with their estate plans and their trust has handwriting all over it and things crossed out, and really we just have to, restate the whole thing, start over again. And that's what we would do. Going back to, if we have multiple amendments for a trust, what we can do is we can restate it as long as it's, we're talking about revocable trusts here. We can just restate the whole thing in its entirety, and it will still have the same name and same original date to it, so we don't have to retitle anything, but we can change the entire trust document in one fell swoop to make sure that it's all up to date with the laws and what it is that you want to have your trust do. Again, if you have any questions about this or any other estate planning topic, do feel free to reach out to me, start a conversation. I am happy to talk to you about these things by going to myestateplanmeeting.com, putting yourself right on my calendar, either for a telephone or in-person consultation. If you like this content, please hit the like button. Leave a review, leave a comment, let me know. If you know anyone that would like this content or you believe would like this content, share it with them or share it with the public in general. I want to get this information out there so that everyone can understand what their estate plans are for, how they work, and if they have any questions, hopefully something that I talk about will help them. And if they need to, they can reach out to me or another estate planning attorney and get the answers that they need. Again, I am Don Rolfe, and until next time, take care, folks. Bye.